Hey guys, it's Ann popping on behind my apron this afternoon. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I just started cooking a quick pork marsala, and then I thought, oh, I'm gonna go live and show you guys what I'm doing. So what's happening right now, right here in my skillet, is some small slices of pork tenderloin. So I used part of the pork tenderloin over the weekend to do a different recipe, and now I sliced the remaining chunk. It was about this big of a chunk of pork tenderloin. I sliced it into just really nice fine strips. Like, can I kind of show you? So like that thick, okay? And then I had them marinating just for a little while in our garlic oil plus some seasonings. So today I used Italian and herb de France. And I had that marinating for about an hour. And then I got my skillet hot. So again, I love these stainless steel skillets with the web coating. So you get the searing like stainless steel, but then you also get the easy cleanup. So I put olive oil in the skillet and I am just searing both sides. And it looks like I actually can just about take these out. And then we'll do the next step of the recipe. But one other thing I was doing today, I just wanted to show you something. So this is one of my loved pizza stones. You know, the uglier they look, the better they cook. Well, one of the reasons I love them is because whenever you're baking something, even just like biscuits, the bottoms and the tops are the same color. And so you never have to worry about burning things like cookies, or if you have cookies that the bottoms get too dark, you know, this is just a really great trick when you can turn them over and they're all the same. That's what happens when you use stoneware for baking. And I mention that because stoneware is coming up as one of our host specials in one of the next few months. So, but back to this pork medallions. Okay, they are seared enough. So I'm going to take them out of the skillet so I can do the next step. And I'm just throwing them here in a prep bowl because I want the juices that are going to drip off of this. And I love these. We've talked about these many times, you guys. These are ones you can run with one hand. So when I tipped them up and squeezed, they locked. You tip them down, they open. And we have a whole bunch of different tongs in this line now. We have this size, we have spatula tongs, sauté tongs. So they are all sitting over here ready to go. And the next thing I need to do is chop up a little onion and get it put in this skillet. So I'm going to use the food chopper, and I'm just going to chop it pretty fine. And while I'm doing this, I know it's the beginning of the week, so I'm very curious as to what you guys are cooking this week. I did a post a couple days ago asking you what your Easter dinner plans were, and I shared what I had figured out so far for ours, and I'll be going back to that post too, so you guys can pop over there and share some Easter ideas. But I'm going to put the onions in and just start those cooking. I'm also going to add a couple cloves of garlic to this recipe, and remember, just put them right in the well, skin and all, because it will take the skin off for you. So add the fresh garlic, and then we're going to just have this cook, a minute or so. And I'll just use my tongs to move it around just a touch. And we'll let that go for about a minute, and then while that is going, I already have the mushrooms cut because I wasn't thinking about going live. So you guys, this is the new cup slicer that a lot of people are talking about. So I will just put a few grapes right over here. You take the cap off. So this is what I did for the mushrooms today because I only needed a small amount. And it has all these blades in the inside. This is the product that's kind of gone viral on the internet. And you just put it over the food and let it do the slicing for you. So let me just show you really quick here on these grapes. Put the cap back on. And can you guys see in there? Can you see it's already sliced them? So it's a really quick way to add some things that you need to slice. And so right now we're going to add the mushrooms to the skillet here. And I'm going to get those guys cooking. And I'm just going to leave them be now for a couple minutes. And then I want to tell you what the rest of the recipe is so that I am not keeping you guys on here too long. But I'm going to let the mushrooms cook down for a couple minutes. And I'm not going to stir them again now until I think they're starting to soften. Because that way, by leaving them in the skillet without messing with them, they actually brown a little bit too. So that's what I want to have happen, because I want all that flavoring to make the sauce. And you guys have probably had like chicken marsala. So this is just a pork version. And you can use marsala wine, but I just use chicken broth. You can serve it over mashed potatoes, noodles, rice, gnocchi, whatever sounds good to you. And then what happens is, once these have cooked down a little bit, then I'm going to add just a tablespoon of flour. I will just sprinkle it over the top. And then I'm going to add a cup of chicken broth. And I'm going to let that start to thicken. And when it just starts to bubble and you see it start to thicken, then I'm going to add a tablespoon of half and half. You could use cream. And then I'll add some salt and pepper that I have sitting over here. Then I will put the pork back in it to let the pork finish cooking with the sauces. So that's what gives it that really rich flavor. So when I did these, I just seared the pork tenderloin slices, both sides. I didn't let it cook all the way through because I want it to finish in the skillet, if that makes sense. So if you're on here with me, pop in the comments below if you've had marsala and if you like it, and which way do you like it served? Do you like it served on potatoes, noodles, rice, or what? And do you like to put fresh asparagus in it? Because I know that's a really common thing in the spring. So I'll be real curious about that. And then I was just going to show you something else too, in case you are making gravy for your Easter dinner. This is a sauce whisk for in the pan. So if you're working with your gravy drippings and you're thickening, this is fantastic because it's heat resistant and you can use it in your saucepan or skillet, and that way it won't be lumpy if you've ever had that. Your other alternative is you can make wonderful gravy in the cooking blender, and then of course there's no lumps that way either. So it's just starting to soften. I just want you guys to see just with a quick turn here, and I'll lift this up to give you an example. Here's one mushroom. This is what's important for the flavoring of your recipe, to get some of this caramelized brown on things like the onions and the mushrooms, because that's what enhances the flavor, okay? So again, I need to leave this be. It smells so good. I wish I could send the scent right through the video to you guys. But then, just so you remember again, in a couple minutes, I'll add the broth. I'll put the powdered sugar, oh good grief. I'll put the flour over top first, let the flour get hot, then I'll add my broth. When it starts to thicken, I'll add my half and half, and then I'll return the pork to the skillet to finish cooking, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. There is a pork marsala recipe in my Second Harvest cookbook too. So if you have this already from me, you can find the recipe in here. It's on page 74. Have a great day, everybody. See you soon.